Good morning, kids. All right, today's workout is on the lines of a recovery functional movements. It is really going to be cool and feel great. We need to focus on a couple things. Form, not range of motion. Everything we do today is going to be really small in movement and exaggerated in our postural position. So we're going to go over that first, and then, we're going to flow, okay? So everything that we do today, we want to keep that duck butt, and it's important that we keep this little curve in this part of our hip. If it's flat like this, that means you're pushing your hip forward. Even if you don't feel like it, you are. So we want to learn how to sit back. Sitting back is also conducive of pushing forward and then leaning back. So let's not do that terminology. We want to go monkey toe, and we want this little curve right here in the hip flexor. From there, keeping the curve, so keep your hands there, and now just kind of lift up the chest. This is going to make sure that you're not doing this and lifting up. That's not appropriate anymore now that we're on to you. So this is going to be our position for everything today, okay? All right, so let's get started. We want it to flow, so make sure that you have your chair just in case, because we don't want to worry about balance. We want to worry about form. We need our physio ball, wall space, and 2 or 3 pound dumbbells. Water. Okay. You got it? All right, here we go. We're going to go into a psoas stretch gently. Take a step forward. So this is not hyperextending, it's just a step forward. So if you notice, you still have a little bit of curve there, yeah? So we want to make sure that we have a squared off hip. We're not rotating. So this is going to be our position, yeah? All right. We should feel our back clamping down. The knee should be over the heel. Arms are going to be up into 90. We want to lift that chest up. Come forward to here. I'm showing you front view. And then back view. Here. Side view. Not here. Okay? All right. Here we go. Gentle stretch. If there's no stretch, don't force it. Now you want to pretend that your triceps, this part of your arm, is on a table. We do not want to lift up, and we don't want to roll forward. Keep that chest up. Remember form. Hands are rigid. The arm is moving. Keep the chest up. Do not push that left hip down. Do not push the left hip down. When we change to the other side, we're going to hold our arms out in the 90 like this, okay? And then we're going to change legs. Make sure the arms are staying in that position. Hold, push that right leg forward. Take a step with left. And repeat. Do not push that right hip forward. We're just taking a step. We should still be in duck butt with our chest elevated. You ready? Same movement. And it's very interesting. It's the exact same thing, but it's going to feel a little bit differently because with that different leg back, we're actually having to stabilize and utilize a totally different set of muscles. Same, but a little bit different. Just totally cool, I think. Make sure that we are in monkey toe. And if you feel like you can't get your balance, you might have to bring your right leg out to the side a little bit. That should solve that issue. Should be feeling shoulders and by the shoulder blade, because that's what's making the movement. The lower back, in the middle of the lower back should be tight because you're holding your chest up. And if there's any functional tightness in the front of that right leg, you should feel a little comfortable stretch. If you're not, don't force it. Don't find it. Push back and down. All right, we're going to grab our weights and we're going to go into an upright row. This is the most challenging thing ever. Excuse me. Okay, now get back in that position. You got to be in an exaggerated position. we are going to lift up the elbows, not the shoulders. So if we're here, right, this is not moving, only the arm. Okay, are you ready? Get into position. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The shoulders should not be moving. 9. Get that chest up, chin up. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place those weights down. All right, now, here's another weird one. We're going to start by having our right leg facing the chair. Okay? So we're going to lean onto that right leg and bend the knee slightly so we can make sure that we keep that little curve there. But we're going to lift up. Okay, now we're grounded out. We're going to flex the toe of the left, locking the knee, and we're going to come up a little bit. Now, if you feel like you're pushing against the top of your chair because you're leaning on it, lifting that leg up way too high. So I'm going to find this little tiny movement where nothing moves. You should have constant pressure on the hip from stabilizing in one position. Find it. You ready? Lift up. Here we go. Nothing moves but the left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Be very rigid. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, today's lottery number is 16. You need to write those down. I keep talking about that. All right, let's go to the other side. Here we go. Find your position. Get that little curve. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I'm gonna get a swig of water. Isn't it interesting how when you change the biomechanics of a movement, how it just totally feels differently? It's rad, huh? All right, now we're going to face our chair. This is important. This is the rear. Look at how little it is. We should not be having any movement. That is a big no-no. It's very common. So we're going to utilize our chair to keep this little curve here so we're leaning forward more. We're going to stabilize on the left leg. Lock out that right leg, okay? So I'll show you rear view. Don't go yet. We'll go together. So we're kind of coming out a little bit at an angle because we do not want rotation. That can hurt us. We want to work this area here and getting functional mobility through the front part. We're not hyperextending. That's why we're starting here and we're disengaging, not rotating. If you rotate, that means you're trying to push that hip forward and elongate this. No. Today, we stop that. Ain't nobody got time for that. It causes bad things to happen. Nobody got time for that. Too many bad things are happening in the world. We're not going to let that happen to our bodies. Not anymore. Okay, here we go. 1, 2. You should feel your lower back tightening. 3, 4, 5. We're not going for a stretch, kids. 7, 8, 9. If you feel a stretch in the front of your leg, you're hyperextending. 2. 2. No stretch. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 legs to every story. Let's do it. Find your position. Get in your duck. Okay, here we go. 1. No stretch. 2, 3, 4. No rotation. 5, 6. Low back active. 7. Chin up. 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. Now let's put all this stuff together. I was going to add a couple floor movements, but when I started thinking about it, there's truly, there's way too much room for air on the floor, which you wouldn't think so, but it's true. I was kind of feeling it out. It just didn't feel right. But this did. All right, now, this is important. Remember the curve. So we want to walk out on the ball, but we do not want the hips to follow. Remember, we're not pushing forward anymore. So we want the top part of the glute, and the lower back to be glued to your ball. And we want to arch as far as we can over the ball. So we're starting from here, not from the top. Typically, you guys would start from the top and try to maneuver your hiney to the position, but that's wrong. So we want to start at the bottom, so we should be at an angle. And as we come back under the ball at an angle, making contact with the ball, so this, at least below the shoulder blades, should have contact. And as we're pushing back, you should feel the stability mechanisms from that movement in your back on both sides. Even pressure now on the heels. Now, we're going to keep glued to the ball, come down as far as we can, keeping that glue, and come back up, keeping the glue. We do not want that lower back to come undone off that ball. It needs to make contact. Are you ready? Let's give it a shot. 1. Do not let those hips push forward. If your butt, if it's coming off the ball, you're coming down too far. 3, 4. It should be you should feel your lower back. It's good. It's working. 4. It's part of the core. Push evenly through heels. 5, 6. We should feel right here. If not, your heels are too far back. There should be nothing on the knees. If you're feeling the shearing force on the knees, your feet are too far back. I have no idea. I think this is 10. Pretend. Bonus rep. 1. Give attention to where you are. 2. Your contact. 3, 4. Head in neutral. 5. 1 more. Ta-da! You did it. That actually felt really good. All right, now we're going to go into hamstring stretch. We are starting in this position. We want that little curve, arch back, lock knees. We're hinging from the hip, only as far down as we can go without rolling. If you are feeling your lower back disengage, you are rolling your back. Quit it. Don't come down so far. Who gives a crap? The range of motion on a functional stretch is irrelevant. We've got to keep our form, or it's not worth doing. So we got to keep the form. We want to pretend like we're still against that ball, yeah? So just find your form. Don't worry about the stretch right now, okay? Only the form. What do you need, baby? Here. There you go. Let's go to calf. Now listen, you're going to feel tightness in your back. That's from working your core. You worked your core. You stabilized with the true core. You did nothing wrong. You did everything right. So it should be a little fatigued, which is good. Change. We worked all the little muscles into big muscles, which is super cool. We're going to reach straight up. Palms are facing inward at a Y. Walk out those triceps, hands rigid. Get that duck butt, and we're going to pretend like we're leaning over that ball, yeah? Make sure we're not doing this. We need that little curve. Check the curve. Check it. Check it. From here, we got tricep. Keep the curve. Other arm. Really want to keep this open. Very important. Very, very important. Okay, keep this guy open. When we do this one, we don't want to roll in. Keep it open. Hands and forearms. Back for posture. Keep it open. It's so funny. Fluffy like puts his stuff. He looks at it. He puts it someplace in a little corner, and then, oh my God, he's got me trained. I'm a good dog. You know that? I am a good dog. I love you guys. I will see some of you later on this afternoon, and I will see everybody else tomorrow. It's going to be a perfect day. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Especially you, because you joined me today. Good girl.